Hello, y'all. My name is Isaac Woolsey, the Autistic comedian, or in this case, the Autistic author. Please like and subscribe and comment on this video. Also, if you really like this video, please share it with your friends and family. Y'all may be wondering why I look like a beardless bassist in a 70s rock band. It's because I need a haircut. It's amazing with Jufros is once you get a haircut, you don't have to brush or comb, and you only get a cut 1.5 times a year. You're also probably surprised to know that I'm an author. Well, it's true. I have written 3 children's books, and my Goodreads page is linked down in the description. There are many tropes and morals in storytelling that I cannot stand, but if y'all like them, that's fine. Just let me know in the comments down below. Now, after all that is out of the way, let's begin the video. Number 5, The Liar Reveal. Alright. This trope a lot of you probably know because of Doug Walker, the nostalgia critic, and other internet movie critics. But if you are unfamiliar, it is basically the protagonist is seen as either a hero or someone special to the main cast of characters, but it was either revealed the person was not who he or she said they were, or had ulterior motives that get exposed, and the cast is sad until the main character does a heroic deed which saves the day. This trope has been in 90% of children's animated films, and the audience will always guess the ending an hour before the movie ends. Now, I get that it is an easy storytelling device, but it is still very lazy writing. I don't generally go too hard on this trope because there are a lot of movies that do it that I like, so it is very low on my list, but there is other tropes on the list that we'll be looking at pretty soon that are worse, in my opinion. Number 4, The Unrealistic Redemption. The unrealistic redemption, or UR for short, is sometimes done in the liar reveal stories with the protagonist, but sometimes it could be done with supporting characters who betray the main character, or even the villain or antagonist can sometimes fall into this trope. Pretty much, you have a character who is either a constant liar or manipulator or anti hero, and after it's been shown that they constantly do wicked deeds throughout the story toward the ending, they suddenly change and become the complete moral opposite of what they were the whole time. I am all for character growth, but it has to be organic and kind of realistic, or within the rules of the literary world the author creates. It also teaches the reader or viewer that you should always just welcome anyone who has severely wronged you with open arms just so they can hurt you again, and to just let the person apologize, I'm sorry, and start an endless cycle of mistreatments. It basically leads to manipulation and abuse sometimes. It is a very irresponsible trope. Number 3, The Disabled Wonder. Including the Oscars, love a good story about a simple character with an irregular handicap or hindrance that defies expectation and uses their disability as a superpower or an ingenious attribute that brings success to themselves or to others. Do you know who despises these stories in films? Actual disabled people. These stories are insulting as all get out to folks like me. I was born with high functioning autism. I have problems with my lower extremities. In other words, my knees and my feet and my legs, not the other part. And in my most recent years, became disabled through other means. Growing up, these stories made me feel like I had to compete with other disabled people and have to prove myself in order to be accepted by the general public. I was never a savant. And it made me feel very insecure if I was struggling and didn't make it big. You won't believe how many times I've been asked if I could count cards. I don't think we need to hero worship disabled characters or view disabilities as something to overcome or wield. We should be judged as we are in spite of our shortcomings. I did a video a while back in which I talked about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which in short means you'll only be it's the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer syndrome, I'm sorry, which in short means you'll only be accepted as someone with a disability if your disability can be exploited for other people's gain. In the 1964 Rankin Bass Christmas special, Rudolph is only embraced by his friends and the North Pole because his light up nose could be used by Santa Claus in order to deliver Christmas presents. And also there's Forrest Gump, where, Forrest Gump was practically almost like a god almost. It's like he just, it's like everything he touched turned to gold. And, and it's like, yeah, this trope just makes me mad. Uh, let's move on to the next one. Number 2, you had it all along. The name of this trope is so long, I'm not even gonna list it again on the book. Not enough room. This trope is not as common nowadays, but it was prevalent in older stories and movie. It is the classic "you had the answer with you all along." The most famous example of this is probably The Wizard of Oz, where the main characters had to go on this whole adventure where they killed a witch with a weird fascination with breeding monkeys and hawks. It was the late 1930s. Just to be told that they already had internal organs, courage, and home teleportation with them the whole time. That makes the whole journey they went on completely pointless. Gee, Oz and Glenda, why didn't you tell us that in the first place? This trope is like an inferior Deus Ex Machina, only nothing miraculous happens. Number 1, be yourself. Trope is not only overly hackneyed and cliche, but it's also kind of a bad moral. Let me explain. We all have flaws, and those flaws make us who we are, and sometimes we shouldn't try to be something we're not. Sounds good. But if you have an issue that needs to be addressed, like you have cancer, then you shouldn't just embrace it and just accept it. No, you have to get chemotherapy and other treatment. Same as if you have a negative habit or character trait, it needs to be corrected and not made excuses for. Like if someone's like an abuser or something like that, you can't just say, oh, just be an abuser. I, for one, sometimes have mental breakdowns, and I mostly have them under control, but I know that if something doesn't go as I plan, I will not just start freaking out, and if someone calls me out on it, I'll say, and I won't just say, I was just being myself. This is probably one of the most popular morals taught to young children, and it has to stop. And that's where we're going to conclude this video. These are my picks for the worst tropes in storytelling. If you agree, disagree, or have other comments or tropes, let me hear about them in the comments. I'm Isaac Woolsey, the Autistic comedian and author, signing out.